Hi, this is JP, and it's Lyme time. Today we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite subject, the magical, mythical, chronic Lyme. They say it doesn't exist. We know better. And today what we're going to be talking about are the 5 reasons in which chronic Lyme exists. Number 1, physical restrictions. Number 2, cysts. Number 3, quorum sensing. 4, virulence. And number 5, neurotoxic die off. So I begin by talking about physical restrictions. And anybody that has pain from Lyme disease is going to understand that that Lyme causes physical restrictions. But how do they cause these physical restrictions? So Lyme is going to look for low blood flow areas within the body. And where are those low blood flow areas? They're going to be areas in which you may have had a previous injury. They're going to be areas where blood flow is restricted by toxins. And they're going to be the joints. Why the joints? The joints because there are 10 plus angles in which every joint can move, and there are going to be layer after layer in which the Lyme can get in, drill in to those joints. And then what they're going to do is they're going to inhabit, and they are going to pee and poop just like we do. And that pee and poop is going to create a toxic, very acidic pH environment that is going to restrict blood flow, causing pain, and truly, just creating a lot of problems in which for trying to treat, to kill the bugs, as well as to cleanse and get the bacteria out of those physical restricted areas. Number 2, cysts. So this is the primary reason that historically we have considered Lyme to be a smart bug, a smart bacteria. And here's why. We are going to if we get a positive Lyme test, we're going to immediately start treating with antibiotics or antibacterials. So the Lyme is smart though. They really only want to function in an environment that is right for them. Whenever they feel they are under attack, what they're going to do is they're kind of going to like spin up a force field around them, and that is a cyst. So in those cysts, they are going to hide, and they are going to wait for a more favorable environment, which brings us to quorum sensing. So quorum sensing, the way that it works is that you can think of if you have many different pockets of Lyme. And as you all know, Lyme is a very systemic disease. The bacteria are not just in one area. They are systemic throughout the body. They're going to be in the shoulders. They might be in the brain. They might be in the hips. Definitely the back and the neck, the knees, the ankles, wherever they may be. They're going to be setting up these colonies, and whenever they're under attack, right, the colonies will form a cyst force field. It brings us to quorum sensing, where what they're going to do is these colonies are actually going to speak. And you might say that sounds crazy, but it's actually true. These colonies are going to speak. In a similar way, they're going to send, in a similar way as our body, our mind communicates with our body through hormones, and our cells communicate through hormones. They are going to speak using chemical messengers. And so let's say that the Lyme in the ankle wants to check out what's going on with a Lyme in the knee or the Lyme in the shoulder. They're going to send these quorum sensing messages out to the entire body, and they are going to basically tally votes from each one of the colonies, kind of gauge where they all are. And what they're going to do is they're going to look for a favorable Lyme environment to then come out in virulence. And what virulence is when all of the Lyme have quorum sensed, tallied up their votes, and figured out that it is a good time for them to come out in force. Virulence is when they all start working together, and then they say, hey, we're gonna team up, we're stronger together, and we're gonna take over this body all at once. And that is what virulence is. Let's say that Lyme's taking over, they come out in virulence, and we then say, okay, Lyme, we're gonna hit you hard with these antibiotics. we're going to get this big neurotoxic die-off. That brings us to number 5 reason why we have chronic Lyme, and that is the neurotoxic die-off. The neurotoxic die-off effect is when we kill the bacteria. Johns Hopkins recently released a study that was just a huge relief for all of us Lymies, in that they actually verified that there is a neurotoxic effect to all of the bacteria. And so what that means is the bacteria, when they die, they are actually become neurotoxic, and so they are then going to have effect on our organs, as well as end up in the nervous system and coating the nervous system throughout the body. And this is why it is so important then for us to break up and dissolve that neurotoxin, that dead bacterial carcass that is neurotoxic. Break it up, bind it, and excrete it from the body. So today what we talked about was the 5 reasons in which Lyme becomes chronic. We have physical restrictions, cysts, quorum sensing, virulence, and a neurotoxic die-off. It is super important that we start to talk about these types of things, ask better questions, and really dig in and be our own advocates in these groups. It is not going to be your doctor that is going to heal you. You are going to be the one to heal you. It's time we change the conversation. It's Lyme time.